Zixthak had been the hegemony's chief interrogator for over 3 centuries. His chitinous exoskeleton bore the ceremonial scars of 1,000 successful extractions, each mark representing classified information torn from unwilling minds. Species across 17 star systems whispered his name in their native tongues, a universal synonym for inevitable suffering. Today, however, the tall, spindly alien found himself genuinely perplexed as he stared at the human strapped to his extraction table. The creature called itself Marcus and had been captured during the failed human raid on Kepler Station. Standard protocol demanded immediate interrogation to extract Earth's military codes, fleet positions, and defensive capabilities. Zixthak had been eager to work on his first human specimen. Their species had developed quite the reputation for stubborn resistance. He'd started with the neural scrambler, a device that sent targeted electromagnetic pulses directly into the victim's brain. Most species lasted approximately 47 seconds before their consciousness began fragmenting. The Rigelian he'd worked on last month had been reduced to a gibbering mess in 30. Marcus had taken the full 5-minute cycle without so much as a grimace. Interesting neural architecture, Zixthak had muttered, switching to the bone resonator. The device used subsonic frequencies to vibrate skeletal structures at their natural frequency, creating agony so pure that even the notoriously resilient Andromedans begged for mercy. Marcus had actually started humming along. "You know," the human had said conversationally, "this reminds me of my buddy Jake's subwoofer back in college. Though his was louder. You guys ever hear of death metal?" The hegemony's most feared torturer had never felt confused during an interrogation before. He consulted his instruments. All readings indicated the devices were functioning within normal parameters. The human's vital signs showed elevated heart rate and adrenaline, proving the torture was having physiological effects. Yet somehow the creature seemed almost relaxed. Zixthak tried the thermal variance chamber next, rapidly cycling the human's body temperature between near freezing and just below the threshold of cellular damage. The Zephyrians from the ice moons typically lasted 6 cycles before hypothermic shock set in, while the heat-adapted Solarians usually broke after 3 temperature spikes. Marcus made it through 24 full cycles before commenting, "Man, this is like the world's most extreme sauna. My ex-wife would have loved this place. She was always complaining about the thermostat at home." The interrogator's mandibles clicked nervously. He activated the pressure differential matrix, a device that simulated the crushing depths of gas giant atmospheres while simultaneously creating vacuum conditions around the subject's extremities. The contradictory pressures had driven the previous subject, a genetically enhanced Tau Ceti warrior, completely insane. "Oh, this is new?" Marcus observed with genuine interest. "Feels like that time I went deep-sea diving in the Mariana Trench, though the water was warmer there. You know, you guys have some pretty creative equipment. Very artistic design too. Is that brushed titanium?" Zixthak's 4 eyes widened in disbelief. He checked his records again. Perhaps human physiology was more resilient than intelligence reports indicated. He decided to escalate to the psychic fragmenter, a device that directly attacked the subject's consciousness, fragmenting their sense of self until reality became meaningless. Marcus blinked a few times, shook his head, and grinned. "Whoa, that was trippy. Reminded me of that time in Vegas when I accidentally ate those special brownies my cousin brought to my bachelor party." Though that lasted longer. The alien interrogator was now consulting emergency protocols. In 3 centuries of service, he'd never encountered a subject who'd survived even one of his advanced techniques, let alone shown casual interest in them. He was beginning to suspect the humans had developed some form of advanced resistance technology. "What biological augmentations has your species developed?" Zixthak demanded, his translator struggling with his increasingly agitated clicking. "Augmentations?" Marcus looked genuinely confused. "Buddy, I'm about as vanilla human as they come. I'm an accountant from Ohio. My biggest enhancement is corrective laser eye surgery, and I only got that because I was tired of losing my glasses at the beach." This was impossible. Zixthak activated his most feared device, the existential dissolver. It didn't target the body or even the mind, but attacked the victim's very sense of existence, making them question whether they were real, whether their memories held meaning, whether their suffering had purpose. Philosophers from the academic worlds had written treatises about the cruelty of such a device. The Hegemony Council had nearly banned its use. Marcus was quiet for a moment, appearing thoughtful. You know what this feels like? He finally said. Monday morning meetings with my old boss, Mr. Henderson. That guy could make you question your entire life choices just by asking about quarterly reports. Actually, this is kind of refreshing. At least you guys are being creative about it. Sixth's exoskeleton began secreting stress pheromones. He had exhausted his entire arsenal of interrogation devices. The human showed no signs of breaking, no indication of pain beyond mild curiosity and occasional nostalgia. I don't understand, the alien admitted, his professional composure finally cracking. These devices should have reduced you to a compliant vegetative state hours ago. How are you still coherent? Marcus shrugged as much as his restraints allowed. I don't know, man. I grew up with 3 older brothers, played high school football, survived college fraternity hazing, worked retail during Black Friday, got married, got divorced, raised teenagers, and spent 15 years in middle management at an insurance company. I guess I've built up a tolerance. The interrogator stared at his instruments in defeat. Every device registered as functional. Every technique had been applied correctly. Yet the human remained unbroken, not through any advanced technology or genetic manipulation, but through what appeared to be simple life experience. So, Marcus said cheerfully, is this the warm-up or are we getting to the actual interrogation soon? Because I've got to say, compared to my root canal last month, this has been pretty pleasant. Oh, and if you guys are taking requests for the next round, maybe something with a massage function? The straps are kind of cutting off circulation to my left arm. For the first time in 3 centuries, the hegemony's most feared interrogator quietly activated his emergency beacon and requested immediate backup. In his report later, he would recommend that the hegemony consider surrender.